A U.S. Army Ranger formerly stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord was sentenced Friday to 20 years in prison for beating a security guard to death in downtown Tacoma after he went out drinking with other Rangers. SPC Patrick Philip Byrne pleaded guilty in March to first-degree murder in the July 18, 2021 death of 41-year-old Denise Smith. The woman had worked just 5 shifts at the 12-story Frank Russell building, 909 A Street, before Byrne attacked her. Surveillance video showed the soldier assault Smith for 8 to 10 minutes, according to court records, dragging her by the hair and repeatedly punching her before using the guard's keys to stab her in the face, apparently attempting to gouge her eyes out, records state. He then flipped Smith onto her stomach and choked her until she went limp, then continued to choke her for another minute or two. After the attack, Byrne tried to smash a window in a conference room and threw around furniture in the lobby. He then exited and, according to charging documents, fell or jumped from a ledge 14 feet above street level. He eventually was brought to a hospital where he told detectives he had no memory of what happened. 6 of Smith's relatives spoke during the hearing, and more sat in the courtroom gallery with a sign that included a photo of the woman in her security officer uniform. Smith's sister, Tina Renee Mack, wore all green. She said it was her sister's favorite color, and she wanted Byrne to think of Smith's name whenever he saw it. Smith grew up in Seattle, where she graduated from Rainier Beach High School in 1998, but her family hails from Indiana. Her eldest brother, Dennis Mack, told the court he was brought up in the Midwest and he protects his sisters. He also believes in an eye for an eye. And he said if this happened where he came from, it would be him sitting in court. Byrne said in court Friday he still cannot remember any details from that night. His attorney from the Department of Assigned Counsel, David Katayama, wrote in court filings that before the murder, Byrne became involved in a physical altercation at the office bar and grill, where he was punched in the head and knocked to the concrete. Minutes after gaining consciousness, Byrne was forcibly trying to enter the building where Smith was working. Before handing down the sentence, Pierce County Superior Court Judge Stanley Rumbaugh said there was legitimacy to the defense attorney's statements, which led him to believe Byrne had some element of loss of capacity when he committed the crime. But Rumbaugh also said he believed that Byrne needed to understand that getting intoxicated to the point of becoming belligerent and uncontrollable in a public place is a choice. The judge said the defendant also knew he had prior head injuries from his time in the military and from car wrecks, but he chose to exacerbate those problems by drinking alcohol in excess.
So let me get this straight. So off of some flimsy type of argument or statement like, oh yeah, I had some previous, head injury, prior military, let's go USA, let's go USA. And the judge was like, you know what, I feel sorry for you. I tend to actually understand, and I can actually acknowledge, I played football myself. I was a young man just like you, getting into brouhahas, and things happen like that, head injuries, man mode. But the thing is, even though I can see where it is that you're coming from, right? I understand the circumstances. You still decided to go out there and drink excessively, knowing the fact that you have a an underlying medical condition, which, led to you fighting this female security guard, which, at the time, seemed, Herculean. You really couldn't decipher, who this person was, male, female. You just didn't know. And, this person seemingly had just got into the way at the wrong time with the right person. And, things have happened. But, it was no way for that person to know that there were some underlying health conditions there. But, still, things persisted. Things happened. Being a part of the military, you blacked out. And you really couldn't tell, up from down, left from right. I understand. But I still have to hand down a judgment when it deals with you. I still have to put something directly out there. Even though I understand, even though I am siding directly with you, I still have to put down some type of judgment. But again, your legal defense is 100% correct when it deals with, the head injury, blacking out, military PTSD, that type of thing. Again, it's just it's a very sad, thing that took place. So let's just go over a little bit of information that they wanted to state about Brian, right? They said that he was raised in New York and North Carolina in an Irish Catholic family, and he joined the military at the age of 23 following the events of September 11th, 2001. He has a history of serious head injuries, including 2 auto accidents he survived as a young man, as well as injuries in the military. He reportedly suffered a blast concussion and a major fall after his parachute failed to deploy in an airplane jump. Prior to Smith's deceasement, Brian had recently returned to JBLM after 2-month deployment to Afghanistan. When it was time for Brian to address the court, Brian stated that he can never describe how truly sorry he felt, and he prayed that Smith's family would accept his deepest apology. Speaking through tears, he stated that this never would have happened if not for the head injury he sustained from being assaulted. Quote, "I wish I had never gone to that bar, that I had never gone out that night. I wish I had never, ever, ever been out here. Then none of this would have happened. And Denise Smith, a great and wonderful woman, to be sure, she would still be alive and part of the world for much, much longer." Interesting, isn't it? He gave that heartfelt apology, and they wanted to make sure to tell you information about his enlistment and how long he was there, and a multitude of head injuries or concussions that he suffered from his youth to the military, to further establish that he was not in his right mind and that he suffers from mental injuries. And if you compound that with even more stuff, then you never know what's going to happen. It's interesting how that works. So you have this black woman that was a security guard working, minding her business, doing her job. And then you had this privileged drunk male who decided to overdrink excessively, go out, and then he ended up getting into a fight with said security guard, fighting her to the point of where he inevitably took her life. And then he wants to sit here and cry crocodile tears, and he wants to say that, oh, he is so sorry, he didn't mean for this to happen, but yet it did. In that, oh, this also would not have happened if all of the head injuries that I suffered would never have been there as well. Again, trying to lean directly on the medical part, trying to lean on if the person is sane or not because of the amount of head injuries that they had. Was this person in their right mind? Also dealing with the contributing factors of the alcohol consumption that was there as, like I said, it's amazing. It's amazing how people can rewrite stories, rewrite history, so that even though they are the perpetrator of the crime, they are still the victim at the end of the day. And this is something that wasn't like heavily publicized. Like I know about this story some time ago, but I just wanted to let it cook. And I'm like, how is it possible that people just weren't really mad about this? That people just really aren't questioning the details and everything that is going on? This is ridiculous. This man is literally, I don't even know how to put it. I'm not even sure we even to go with this at the moment in time, because this is egregious. Like, this woman lost her life. She lost everything, and this man still has everything, even if he is in a cell behind bars. Even if he's in a cell behind bars, he still has everything because he still has his life. He's still able to breathe. He's still able to count the days and look forward to tomorrow. She no longer can. She only has that day, and that's it. It's crazy. You're literally watching this in real time as somebody who committed a very heinous act decided to become the victim. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Like I said, stuff like this needs to be studied. And this is historical. It is within the DNA. This has happened countless times. There are books on this. But yet, there's no outcry. You don't really have people, really trying to spend this 24/7, 48 hours, 72 hours. It's amazing. It's 100% amazing. And it's a shame, like I said, my condolences to the family. My condolences. Again, a loss of life, this is something that should never happen. And, especially if a person is like not in, the type of field where, their life is always on the line. Because I'm pretty sure that she was just working just to save up some money to, do something or to help out family or just to pay bills. Right? And she felt like this would probably be an easy thing to do. It pays a little bit more, so why not? Man. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that's stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.